Give y'all a minute to get up in here. How my freedom marchers doing? Crazy shit, man. Crazy shit in the world.
Right turn onto East Stern Street.
Right turn on East Stern Street. All right. How y'all doing? How's my freedom marchers doing? What did you guys do today to march toward freedom? What have you done this week? What are you going to do? That's a great question. What are we doing to march toward freedom? Anyway, let's talk about this.
Right turn ahead, and then
let's talk about
right
AustriA.
I-405.
Let's talk about AustriA and the difference between AustriA and the U.S. In AustriA, they are now going to lock down individuals who are non-GMO. I'm going back comfortably to non-GMO based on the study that I talked about this morning. Yes, I'm confident that the study will be, bolstered once it's peer-reviewed and all that good shit. It makes total sense. Anyway, yeah, so the non-GMOs are going to be locked down in AustriA because they refuse to get poked, okay? They're gonna have to stay at home unless they go to the grocery store or unless they go, you basically can only go places where you can only spend a certain amount of time. Then you gotta take your ass back home. Now, this is what they want to do. I believe based on the information that we got and that I talked about months ago about New York and the percentage of people that end up hospitalized with Medela 19 in New York. The vast majority of people hospitalized in New York with the Medela 19 were those who always stayed at home. I forgot the exact percentage. I think it was like 88%, 86%. 86% of people hospitalized with Medela 19 always stayed home. And then that lower percentage of people who were hospitalized with Medela 19 worked, went outdoors, did things, lived like a fucking normal human being. And then 2% of those who were hospitalized with Medela 19 in New York were homeless. Them motherfuckers always outside. So let's put 2 and 2 together here. All right. And by the way, winter's coming around. Y'all need to get y'all vitamin D cracking. You understand? Get your vitamin D in you. Load up on that vitamin D because you're not going to get the sunlight you need this winter. All right. You barely get it during the summer, but you especially want to get that vitamin D during the winter. You want that fresh air as well. Go outside. You know what I'm saying? It might be dreary and snowing and all that other shit outside, but go outside and breathe fresh air. Anyway, let's continue. AustriA wants people to be locked down if they aren't poked. What this is invariably going to do is cause people to get sicker than they otherwise would if they didn't have to stay their ass at home. Understand that. The human being was not meant to be locked up indoors all day. They were meant to, look, we're hunter-gatherers, point blank and period. You know what I'm saying? I know vegans are going to say, oh, we're not designed to be. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. You got the molars in the... Listen, our molars have ridges on them for rending meat. But that's another story. We are meant to be outside, running around, hunting, and gathering shit. Using our bodies to be mobile, to be outdoors, right? To be doing whatever we do outside. That's what we're designed to do. That's what humans are designed to do. We're not designed to be cramped up in a motherfucking house all day, doing nothing, watching TV, with the furnace blasting and emitting CO2 all up in your place. No, that's not what you're meant to do. These people want you to be cave dwellers. Once again, they want you to be in a cave, but this time the cave is your, 20th century Tudor or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Stay your ass. Look, AustriA is tripping. And I'm going to tell you the difference between AustriA and the U.S. and why they're not doing that in the U.S. Yes, they were able to issue these stay-at-home orders to people when the pandemic first started because they were able to instill fear in people of the Medela 19. They used the Hegelian dialectic perfectly, right? Problem, reaction, solution. They created or co-opted the problem of the Medela 19, and they got a fear-based reaction from damn near everybody, okay? People didn't want to touch surfaces. They didn't want to breathe nobody's air. They didn't want to be outside. They didn't want to see people. So they were able to use the Hegelian dialectic when the pandemic first started. But now we have pandemic fatigue. People are seeing that this is a bunch of bullshit. Well, those with common sense are seeing that this is a bunch of bullshit. And, you know, we're more resistant here in the United States, especially, to being told that we can't do certain shit. And I'm talking about people on the left and the right. They're like, okay, well, the Democrats are resisting, Republicans are resisting, and anarchists / voluntarists such as myself are definitely resisting and not complying. But look, this is the thing. The difference between AustriA and the US is the same 400 million reasons I always talk about when I talk about the difference between the US and other tyrannical countries, where they can just, on a whim, just commit tyranny blatantly and obviously, like Australia, like New Zealand, in Singapore, where they got little robot dogs walking around, making sure people are complying with COVID rules, right? So those things are happening. And in Singapore, they can cane your ass for almost anything. So why are they able to do these things in those countries? Well, there's 400 million reasons why. And those are 400 million firearms. Understand that. Yeah. They have more sophisticated, the government, our government has more sophisticated, advanced weaponry than we have. They got, what did Joe Biden say, F-16s and tanks? Well, we saw how that worked in Afghanistan. As a matter of fact, Afghanistan were given free tanks, given free jet fighters, given free choppers, sensitive military equipment. So I don't think that here in the U.S. it will be that much of a that these soldiers would have to commit basically mass genocide on their own people. So that's the difference. 400 million firearms, and that is always under fire. Our right to keep and bear arms is always under fire. As a matter of fact, this Kyle Rittenhouse trial, which they're doing the closing arguments on right now. Oh, by the way, if you wanted to watch the Kyle Rittenhouse trial on your favorite YouTuber's channel, well, they shut that down, by the way. They shut that down. They effectively destroyed your ability to see the closing arguments. I don't know why they did that. Well, they're going to say it's a technical difficult, whatever. Just so happens that the Kyle Rittenhouse trial cannot be streamed. The last time I checked. Our right to self-defense is on trial in this country, and they're using Kyle Rittenhouse as the avatar for the average individual that might use the Second Amendment, that might use their right to keep and bear arms, that might use their right for self-defense to actually save their own lives or the lives of other people. And the last I heard, the prosecutor was doing his closing arguments talking about how, Kyle Rittenhouse was pointing a gun at people and that's provoked everybody to chase him. I don't know about you. And then he used a blurry ass video, and he's telling you what's going on in a video where you can't even tell what's going on. So he's telling you what's happening. He's telling you what he wants you to believe is happening, which is that Kyle Rittenhouse put down a fire extinguisher and pointed his gun at people. But what he failed to mention is that the first people, the Kaczynskis or whatever, the individual that fired the shot behind Kyle Rittenhouse when he was being chased by Rosenbaum, failed to mention that, he mentioned that they fired a shot, but he didn't say that perhaps these people had their, the firearm out and probably pointed it at Kyle Rittenhouse, and that's probably why Kyle Rittenhouse pointed his weapon at them. Whatever. He can't even prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Kyle Rittenhouse pointed his weapon at anybody first. But let's move on from that. Our rights are under fire constantly. They're constantly violating the Constitution in order to violate our rights. And that's just what they do. You give these people all the power that they want, which we have done. Well, y'all have done that. I haven't done that. I don't vote. So when you vote, you give these people the power to do whatever the fuck they want to you once they're in that position that you put them in. So you guys, you give them this power, not you guys, but those people out in the world that vote and believe this system is a good and benevolent system that they need to survive. Those people have given the power over to these people, and now they are violating the Constitution every chance they get. And they don't want us to resist the level of tyranny they want to level at us. They can't do it right now. They can't do it right now because they understand what would happen. It wouldn't be so easy as they think it would, as they want it to be. So they want us to be unarmed.
In 0.2 of a mile.
And censored.
Onto Studebaker Road.
And that is how. That's how they do this. That's how all tyrants gain the power that they gain. That's what they do. They push propaganda, and they take away your weapons. They take away your means to defend yourself against a tyrannical government, and they put out this bullshit about public safety and public health. Fuck all that. That's bullshit. Anyway, so that's what they do. That's what they do. But what they're not doing, they're acting like they want to do something about this. You have people or organizations like Cignpost Diagnostics who, in the UK, they give the testing to people. They do a lot of the testing for Modelo 19. And they're being investigated right now for planning to sell swabs of people's DNA. The swabs, the testing swabs. Yeah, it has your DNA on it. I know that was the conspiracy theory at one point. It's not. It's not a conspiracy theory. They are digging those swabs so hard into your mucous membrane that they will come away with some DNA. So they're doing the Modelo 19 testing, and they're keeping the swabs, apparently. And so now they want to sell them bitches. Sell them to who? You see what's going on here?
At the end of the road.
And now they're being investigated for it. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But who's to stop any diagnostic firm from doing this? Our government? You know how long they take to do shit. By the time they stop these sales of these alleged sales of I have to say alleged because they're still investigating. The alleged sales of these our DNA swabs. They might have already sold millions of swabs already. They might have, you know what I'm saying? So, and what other organization is doing this? And what is our government doing to ensure that Quest Diagnostics, a testing firm in the U.S., is doing the same thing? What? Like, come on, man. We already know that abortion clinics are selling aborted fetal tissue. We already know that what they're doing. We already know that. We already know they're profiting off of certain things. So what's to stop them from selling our DNA on these swabs? Nothing. Nothing until they get caught and investigations are initiated. But by the time, like I said, that happens, well, shit, your shit's already sold. Highest bidder. So this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with. You guys got me? It's funny how the Snapped are in joy about this lockdown in Austria. Yet going march for human rights. Yeah, they're full of shit. They just mad because they got snapped and they can't do nothing about it. So They want everybody to get snapped, and they want you to get punished for not getting snapped, like they're snapped. They're full of shit.
Your destination.
These people don't give a shit about human rights. Anyway, I got to get out of here, guys. Like, share, subscribe. And we'll, you know, I'll get back with you guys. I'm about to meet my family up here. We're going to check out some. We're going to check out some land yachts, and I'll get at you guys later. Much love. Peace out. Keep marching forward toward freedom, people. Peace.